Coach, there was some talk of a worry, maybe of a let-up coming off the big win over Boise State, but saw no signs of that against Air Force on Saturday. How did you keep your team focused and ready to come out against the Falcons?
Well, I think our team realizes that we have a chance to maybe win a championship, and I'm really proud of the maturity they showed by the way they got ready to play, because I'm not sure we played very well, but we played extremely hard, and that was good enough to win.
Coach, when you guys were 2-3 about a month and a half ago, was there anything that happened that changed the fortunes of this season? Was there anything to suggest then that you were going to be able to reel off 6 straight wins?
No, I don't think so, but obviously our players never gave up and always had confidence that they could do it, and they prepare well in practice every week. They prepared well in practice, and they got a couple good things go for us and won a couple games. Now they play with a lot of confidence.
You said early in the season, not sure what I have, not sure we're a very good team right now, but we could be a good team later in the season. In fact, you said I expect us to be a good team later in the season. Now you are, but what went into that? What was the change that you saw from the beginning of the season up until this point?
Well, now that you can look back on it, it's the same thing. It's the same worries we had going into the season. We were young, especially at the line of scrimmage, at the offensive and defensive line. And if you can't hold your own up there, you have a lot of troubles winning games. And our offensive line really adjusted quickly, and they got where they played like experienced players really fast, where our defensive line didn't. Our defensive line took a long time to get where they're playing well. Now, they've been playing real well the last 4 weeks, but it took a little longer than we thought it would.
I know Air Force. They had some yardage on you rushing the football. They get yardage against everybody, but the difference is Air Force usually scores a lot of points against everybody. They only got 9 against you guys. The only touchdown they scored was on a 13-yard drive. You guys did a remarkable job of being able to come up with big plays on 3rd and 4th down to stop them, and that was really the difference in the game Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're right. That was the difference in the game, and it's impossible to get ready for what they do on offense in 3 days. And our players were playing extremely hard, but we were making a lot of technique errors. We weren't squeezing to the fullback tight enough. We were running up the field and instead of staying at the line of scrimmage. So we made ourselves vulnerable for a lot of big plays, and they got quite a few big plays. But the difference is we kept playing hard. It didn't matter if we got knocked down. They jumped up and chased the ball, and eventually, if you make them run the full field, eventually you can make a play or two to stop them.
Adam Muema now has a rushing touchdown, at least one, I believe, in his last 12 games. Is that a conscious effort? Do you like to use him near the end zone? Do you feel like running backs can have a particular nose for the end zone, or is that just kind of random chance?
I think that he's a good running back, and I think he's getting the ball close to the goal line, but I think we have confidence in both of our running backs. I don't think there's a conscious effort to give Adam the ball closer to the goal line than to Walter Casey. I think both of them are doing a great job. It's just worked out that way.
Did you like the fact, though, that Casey had the big 100-yard day on Senior Day? Did you give him a little extra nod on Saturday because it was Senior Day, feeling maybe he'd run a little bit extra hard?
No, I don't think so. It's nice to see him go out that way in his last home game, but I think we go into the game doing whatever's best to win, and one of them gets more carries than the other. It's awful close anyway, and I'm glad both of them are staying healthy.
I think I know the answer to this question. We're talking to Rocky Long on the Aztecs Power Hour here on XTRA Sports 1360, but I'm asking anyway. Rocky, when you took the job, when Brady Hoke left a couple of years ago, you said that this was going to be your last job in college football. Now, you've done a great job, and I can't imagine you might get a phone call or two from other schools that are saying, hey, I've seen what you've done at San Diego State. Will you listen to any other school if they called?
No, what I said in the press conference is correct.
All right, you're going to stick it out with San Diego State. You said whether it's a year or 2 or 10 years.
What are you trying to do to the guy?
Hey, what if Lane Kiffin gets fired and USC calls? Don't you have to at least take that phone call, Chris? No.
No, he's not taking that phone call.
All right, he's not going anywhere, Aztecs fans. You just heard it from the horse's mouth.
He's staying with us. He's staying with us. Coach, as far as going back to the Air Force game also, I thought one of the things, the big play of the game was when you got the fumble there and Everett Bede ran it back for a touchdown. And I know that felt great for you to watch your defensive line, because that's been the real key to your turnaround this season has been those guys picking up their play. And to see one of those big guys rumble down the field for a touchdown was really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice to see our defensive line playing well, and they've played well probably the last 4 weeks, because our biggest problem on defense early in the season was we weren't getting the kind of play out of our defensive line that we needed, and their improvement has made us a pretty decent defense. And when you see them get to score a touchdown, which doesn't happen very much, it's pretty exciting for the whole D-line.
It's mighty unusual to have a bye week this late in the season, at least before your final regular season game. I know there's the break before the bowl games. Does that present any challenges, or is that actually a welcome rest because you've got some guys that you might want to get healthy?
Well, I mean, you gotta count it as a positive. I mean, we'd much rather be playing this Saturday, but you got to have a positive attitude about things, and it will give us a chance. We've got some guys that are beat up. We've got some guys that have been playing hurt and playing well hurt. It'll give them a chance to get healthy, and we might get a little bit more spring back in our steps. So we're going to take it a positive direction, and we think it's going to help us.
Conference championship, you'll have a chance to win it in 2 weeks at Wyoming. How are you going to go about preparing for the Wyoming game and using the bye week, Coach?
Well, we're going to treat this week just like we do in a bowl game. We're going to practice 3 days and give them a couple days off so they can get rested up. And then once we get into next week, we'll go back to our regular practice schedule and prepare the same way and hopefully play as well as we've been playing.
Did you do any scoreboard watching after the game on Saturday? Will you do any this week? Do you care if Boise State or Fresno State loses? Do you want a chance at an outright championship or co-championship? Doesn't make any difference to you.
I don't really care. I mean, it wouldn't matter to me if they won or lost. I mean, we've already played them both, and one of them beat us, and we beat the other one, so it's about us winning the game and earning our championship.
Coach, we congratulate you on the victory over Air Force. It was an outstanding performance. I mean, to hold them to 9 points, even you told us last week you thought you'd have to outscore them to win. Little did you know that you wouldn't need any more than double figures to beat Air Force. That says a lot about your defense and the way they played, and offensively, I thought you controlled the game well. And overall, I'm sure you gave your ball club a pretty high grade when it was over.
Well, it's nice to win, and every week it gets harder, and every game gets more important. So when you're able to go out and win, it's really a good deal, and they deserved it. We gave them a couple of days off. They don't come back till tomorrow.
Before we let you go, what'd you think of the game on the Midway? I don't know if you had a chance to watch any of it. I know the Aztecs didn't win, but it was pretty spectacular.
Well, I watched every bit of it on TV, and I think it's quite of an event. I think it's really neat, but I kind of felt sorry for our guys. You know, we hit those 3-pointers. We're an outside shooting team, but our team played as hard as they could play, and I think if it had been indoors, we'd have won.
They're going to need a really big aircraft carrier to host your football game next season, though.
I'm not sure. Can they get a football field out there?
I don't think they could.
I don't think they can get one on there.
I don't think they could do that.
The wind won't bother us as much as it does a basketball
That's
team.
true. That's true. The conditions, the elements aren't as bad, but the guys falling off the edge of the boat, that might hurt you a little bit.
Yeah, that might hurt.
Those out patterns will be a little tough to run. You have to run everything down the middle of the field. Hey, Coach, congratulations again on the win over Air Force, and we'll talk to you again next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.